Hey everybody, welcome to the stream and welcome to the Journeyman Project 2, Buried in Time. So yeah, had a lot of fun playing the first Journeyman Project game, and I really wanted to play the second already, but unfortunately I couldn't get it to work on Linux. So I wasn't actually planning to play this so soon, but I actually managed to find a workaround, which was... That's right. I managed to get a Windows XP virtual machine running in Linux, and I managed to get the Journeyman Project 2 running inside this Windows XP virtual machine. So we can actually go right to the next game. And also, yeah, the third one was also I was also able to get it to work. So we are going to just play through the entire trilogy because I really had fun with the first one. So I wanted to check out. Although this one, kind of interesting that this game is actually older than the game that I played, because the game that I played last time was actually the Journeyman Project Pegasus Prime, which is a remake of the original game. The original game came out in '94, and then this Journeyman Project 2 came out in '95, and then the remake came out in '97. So, so the previous game that I played was actually 2 years older than this one. Talk about time travel, eh? And yeah, time traveling to a previous OS as well in order to play the game. So yeah, let's get started. Okay. Yeah, that's actually the previous logo for Presto Studios before they animated it. Sanctuary Woods presents. Hey Lep. Presto Studios production. It's okay. Journeyman Project 2, Buried in Time. We're on another time travel adventure. Same theme song as the previous one, but yeah, this one, the intro doesn't really seem like the intro to a TV show like the remake of the first one. So they still kept the same theme song. Kind of interesting. Yeah, no narration this time. Music composer and sound designer. Yeah, just a simple credits intro. Okay. So yeah, just like in the original game, if you don't want to solve any puzzles, you can go on walkthrough mode. But yeah, I want to go on adventure. Remember to save your game often. Yeah, I actually heard about a couple of game-breaking bugs that I'm gonna have to watch out for, but I wrote down where they might occur, so I'll be on the lookout. Experience Buried in Time to its fullest, turn down the lights, put on a pair of headphones, and prepare for total immersion. Well, my lights are off except for these two desk lamps I have on each side, and I have headphones, so I'm ready. New game.
Earth has been officially admitted into the symbiotry of peaceful beings.
It's kind of the same intro, the same video we saw at the end of the last game.
Gage Blackwood with the Paragon Medal for valorous service.
That's me. I helped save the world.
The government admitted the existence of the Temporal Security Agency, an organization.
Yeah, our secret was out. A picture of myself on the mirror.
Sinclair can be attributed to Agent 5, Gage Blackwood, who single-handedly defeated Sinclair.
The villain of last game. What the? Suddenly a silly-looking suit is in my living room.
Quick, there's not much time to explain. They'll be here any second. Yes,
That's me.
I am you. I've come from the future. We've been framed. Now, whatever you try to do not interfere with what's about to happen. The suit I'm going to transfer over to you will keep you close, so just stand still and watch. When it's all over, you'll be pulled 10 years forward in the future to my present. From there out, it's all up to you. Oh, and I've hidden more information inside of you. You'll figure out what I mean. Here comes the jumpsuit.
Okay. Don't you hate it when that happens? Your future self comes back in time with dire warnings. Catapult engaged.
Come on, Gage. Let's go.
Oh dear. My future self got captured. Blackwood residence, Pacific Northwest, North America. Ooh, this is where I live in the future? I mean, my present was already kind of the future, but the future, compared to where I was, yeah, kind of funny time travel with when you go back into the past, but the past is in the future. So yeah, the different interface completely from the first game. Now we can now look up and down, which we weren't able to do before. We still turn 90 degrees, and we go forward like this instead of clicking on front. So actually I now have like 12 images per node, like 3, one forward, one up, one down, then 90 degrees, up, down, forward, 90 degrees, up, down, forward. So yeah, 3 per side, 4 sides, 12 images per node. I'm gonna have to get used to this new interface. And already I got a bunch of biochips here. Well, the blank one doesn't really do anything, it seems. Cloak biochip to activate the cloak, which apparently only works while I'm standing still. If I move, it stops working. Yeah, evidence, I think it's for... I did read the manual, so I'm not completely lost, because I think the first time I tried this game I was intimidated by this interface. I thought it was a little complicated, I couldn't move around too much, and I kind of put me off the game for a little while, but yeah, now I'm a little bit more used to it, I think. And yeah, the objective of the game is to collect evidence from time periods, so I can clear my own name, I guess. My future self said I was framed. And I guess we're going to try and find evidence to clear my future self, and then I go back in time, and then 10 years later I'll have to get framed again and then go back in time to recruit my past self and then complete the loop. Yeah, files is just to learn about background agent dossiers, jumpsuit overview. Yeah, jumpsuit. What is this suit? The Time Displacement Unit, more commonly known as the jumpsuit, is the temporal security agent's mode of time travel. Each of the TSA's 10 jumpsuits have been coded specifically to the DNA of the agent to which it has been assigned. and cannot be used by anyone other than the assignee. Oh, so that's why I recruited my past self. My past self was the only one also able to use the suit. Unauthorized tampering with the suit will result in the self-destruction of its neurocircuitry. Though the jumpsuit offers freedom of travel, it does not provide the agent with much protection. For this reason, it has been equipped with cloaking technology that renders it invisible to onlookers. Yeah, I could have used the cloaking device in the last game. Kept running into people from the previous time periods. This feature is vital to the members of the Deep Time Unit, who must exercise extreme discretion while researching the past. However, as moving destroys the illusion of invisibility, the suit's navigation buttons are disabled while it is cloaked. The jumpsuit has also been equipped with an oxygen rebreather and compressed air supply for environments with little to no oxygen. Yeah, I also could have used one of those in the previous game. This reserve immediately refills when the agent returns to an oxygenated environment. So yeah, apparently now, not now, but 10 years into the future, instead of having one big time machine that we use, everyone has their own portable time machines, wearable time machines, apparently. Yeah, just like with computers, what was once the size of a whole room can now be wearable. Just like, yeah, any other technology, I guess. Background. Development of technology. Yeah, there it goes. World's first time machine, known as Pegasus, was the brainchild of part-time historian and full-time physicist Elliot Sinclair, the bad guy that we saw earlier. In 2311, after seeing Sinclair's time-bending experiments, the government contracted him to build a full-scale operation time machine. The purpose of this device was to explore our past as well as to discover the truth behind many disputed historical events. Yeah, that's actually be an interesting use for time travel device. Lots of moments in history where we're not sure what exactly happened. Would be interesting to be able to go back and see for ourselves. Just 4 years after the project was begun, the world's first time machine underwent its first test run. Founding of the TSA. The test run would be the first and last time the Pegasus would be used for research purposes. Due to mounting concerns by government officials that such a device could lead to the accidental permutation of history, the project was discontinued. Sinclair was forbidden to ever work on time distortion projects again, and with the illicit construction of time travel devices now being a very real threat, the government secretly set up the Temporal Security Agency as a means to safeguard history from sabotage. And yeah, it was a good thing they did, because Sinclair ended up building another time machine and tried to tamper with history. The jumpsuit. As had been expected, Earth's incorporation into the symbiotree of peaceful beings brought with it astounding advances in technology. These advances aided the TSA in developing the next generation of time machines. The Time Displacement Unit, or jumpsuit, incorporates an entire time machine into a mobile, self-contained suit. The greatest advantage of this jumpsuit is that it can forge its own null-time tunnel from one location to another, eliminating the need to return to the present between jumps. Yeah, that's something I had to keep doing. Every time I wanted to go from one time period to another, I have to first go back to the present and then go back in time. This new technology rendered Pegasus obsolete, and in August of 2325 the time machine was dismantled. Its huge generator was destroyed and the smaller core elements put into storage in a location known only to the agents of the Temporal Security Agency. Huh. Okay. Divisions of TSA. Along with the development of the Time Displacement Unit came a rethinking and restructuring of the Temporal Security Agency. Gone were the days of historical security relying entirely on one agent using one machine. Now multiple agents had the freedom to move through time at will, and several years had gone by without incident, changing the prevailing opinion on the danger of time travel technology. In 2327, the decision was made to expand the Temporal Security Annex to include a historical research. Wait, so it's Temporal Security Annex or Temporal Security Agency? Or is the annex the building one? To include a historic research team, this team, self-dubbed the Deep Time Unit, is comprised of 4 individuals who are each responsible for researching and recording various periods of history. Agent dossiers. We have a security unit and a research unit. Gail Yakamura. This profile. Blah, blah, blah. Transfer. There's also the Temporal Protectorate. Okay. Neil Getty. Earned black belt in judo. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Lots of informations. No access to their missions. Agent 4. Alan Carver. Okay. Tilene Flores, Agent 7. Agent 8. That was the one that apprehended my future self back there. Marcus Warner. Yeah, he had an 8 on the jumpsuit. Well, I had a 5 because I am Agent 5. And Vladi Yasignova. Okay, and the research unit. Hey, that's me. Gage Blackwood. Data spending. Huh. Michelle Vizar. Hey, that's the one from the first game as well. Missions. Auschwitz, Hiroshima, terrorist massacres, Appomattox Courthouse. Okay, what about me? Chichen Itza, Chateau Gila, Vinci Studios, Arnstein Land. Arnstein Land is in the future. Or, I mean, our future. Okay. Roger O'Rourke. Butter Summer, Gnosis Crete, Tahiti, Beijing, China. Tamara Walsh. Independence Hall, Philadelphia. East Berlin. Gorbistan. And Halls of Ministry. Not also in the future. Well, our future. Yeah, we can only see the missions of the research unit, apparently. Not security ones. Okay. What else? Interface. Ah, here's the... Yeah, here's the... Save. Save, restore. Might as well save already. You want. Oops, okay. BTG. Okay. And this is for the jump biochip for actually going to different time periods, but yeah, we're not doing anything right now. Explore a little bit. See what my house looks like in the future. Okay, so I guess a decorative object. Metronome, sundial, mechanical clock, and what is that? Hourglass, a digital watch. Maybe a futuristic clock. How about this one? Oh, I think that's a pocket watch. Okay. My work desk.
Agent 5, Gage Blackwood, is under house arrest. Access privileges revoked.
Yeah, can't use my computer while on house arrest. Oh well. How about this?
You have 3 messages.
This is an answering machine. The heck?
Mr. Blackwood, this is Mark Johnson from Interactive News Network. I'm just calling to see if you'd like a chance to tell your side of the story. Give me a call at Sector 10, 569-82227, and we'll talk about setting up an exclusive interview. I hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah, you'll hear from me soon as I clear my name. Hello.
Hey, Gage, how you doing? Listen, I was... Oh, shoot, it's your day off. You're probably in Tahiti, as usual. Well, anyway, I was wondering if I could borrow your Environ system. The record button's busted on mine, and I haven't had a chance to get it fixed. And hey, you do me this one favor. I might be willing to forget our bet. Remember? Grab ball last week? Thought you'd get away with it, huh? Not this time, pal. I beat you fair and square. So call me. I'm at home. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I kind of have some problems to deal with right now.
Gage, it's me. Wake up and answer the phone. Hello. I know you're there. Where else could you be? Well, anyway, you owe me, pal. I got your jumpsuit. I just pray they don't realize their key evidence is missing before you figured out what's going on, or we'll both be in neck deep. I mean, it would take a genius to figure out that I was the only one who could have taken it. But hey, they wouldn't fire me, would they? I'm their chief technician. Who else do they have to get their net games running? I'll send you the suit as soon as I put in an Opmin biochip. If you get a chance, you'll want to modify it to automatically record evidence. And if you need anything else, please, hesitate to call me. Oh, and Gage, do me a favor. Erase your messages for a change. Thanks.
I guess he didn't erase
Good
this.
luck, buddy.
But yeah, I guess he's the one who helped me get my jumpsuit, who allowed me to go back in time to recruit my past self in the first place. And it also gave me this evidence biochip. And the 4th button just leaves. Okay, look at this. Papers. Personal mission log transcript with Gage Blackwood. For the past few jumps, I've been experiencing a vague, dizzy sort of feeling when I time travel. It's almost like something hovering just beyond the reach of my consciousness, like a word on the tip of my tongue. And then the feeling goes away, as soon as I get to where I'm going. I've never heard of anyone experience this before, so I'm afraid that I might be developing some new kind of time travel disease, or maybe a sensitivity to it. Not that I'm surprised, no one's ever proven that time travel is entirely safe. We're the guinea pigs. Well, whatever it is, I can only hope that it doesn't get any worse. If it does, I'll have to let Chalman know. Huh. That's good. I don't understand it. The coordinates of the station were supposed to be accurate to within a millimeter. But somehow I just ended up floating in space, where the station had been about an hour earlier. Unless the location and velocity data were wrong, I don't know how it could have been so badly miscalculated. They said they took everything into account, down to the most negligible effects on its velocity, by any bodies within 1,000 light years of it. I could see the station drifting out there, but I couldn't get to it. The suit doesn't have any kind of thrusters. TSA protocol says to scrap a mission if something unpredictable happens, but this is obviously just an error in calculation. I think I'm going to go ahead and try and find a way to get to the station. But if I go into the TSA looking for a thruster, someone might wonder what's up. So it looks like I'll have to get creative. Well, yeah, imagine having to land a precise location when time traveling, not only a precise time, but if you just time traveled without taking space into account, you just end up where Earth was in the past, so you just end up floating in space. So you also have to precisely calculate coordinates, 3D coordinates. I came up with a pretty cheesy idea for propelling myself to the space station. I still can't believe it actually worked. Not that it matters. Even after getting in, I kept running into barriers. No oxygen, no gravity, jammed doors. And here's the kicker. I heard a voice. There shouldn't have been anyone there. However, whoever it was saw me and told me to get off the station. Actually, I'm not sure he saw me so much as detected my presence. But still, I had no choice. I had to abort. It's a miracle I didn't cause a ripple. Maybe because whoever it was died up there before coming into contact with another human being. But I can't help but think, what if it was Farnstein? Did he live longer than we believe? The station was obliterated. How could he have survived? Or could the stories be true? Might it have been an artificial life form that he created? I can't escape the irony. I went there to learn the truth, and the truth is what forced me away. Maybe this is a sign that some things are meant to remain unknown. I don't know my luck these days. It happened again. When I got to Gaylord, there was someone standing right in front of me, looking out over the tower wall. He spun around the second he heard the displacement effect. There wasn't a thing I could do, but before he could even draw his sword, an arrow came over the wall and hit him in the back. Lucky for me, I guess. He would have killed me. Can you imagine the distortion that would have caused? Yeah, if someone from the past kills an agent and gains access to the jumpsuit, that would be quite a big problem. It should have created a huge one as it was. I guess we're just damn lucky, and the arrow would have hit him anyway. I don't get it. The jump locations are supposed to be scanned with a fine-tooth comb. How could they have not noticed? I'd like to hear their explanation for this one. And then I go to watch the Philip Augustus men climbing up through the garderobe. And when I get there, all I see is the grappling hook that they left behind. The whole reason I was sent there was to document how the castle fell, and they got me there too late for it. I know it's difficult to distill accurate information from historical accounts, but this is twice in as many missions. I guess I'm going to have a little talk with the guys in research before I end up materializing in the middle of a Shriners convention. On my last jump, the strange feeling that I've been experiencing during time travel became a little more tangible. I became aware of a faint, almost imperceptible ghost image of my jumpsuit floating slightly out of phase with myself. I'm assuming that it's a glitch in the suit's circuitry. The time phase synchronizer's probably malfunctioning. That should worry me, but I'm actually relieved. At least now I know there's nothing wrong with me. I'm going to have Bill run a diagnostic on my suit tomorrow. Okay. No, not sure. Farnstein Lab. So this and Chateau Gillard, that's where he was almost discovered. And Farnstein Lab might be the space station. Well, these are missions that my future self has already been to. So I might have to go back to these locations and search for evidence, I think. What is this? I can't read that. By these books. Timescape, Sentinel, or Terminology. The joy of replicating. The joy of replicating, as in, like the joy of cooking, the famous cookbook. Can't read that. Okay. I wish there was a key for going forward. I'm not sure. There is one. Go to my living room. I don't think this solar model is to scale. And the movements are all over the place too. Some magazines. And what is this? I got a Journeyman Project figurine from Bandai. Yeah, they actually published the games. Kind of funny that they put them in as a publisher of the figurine. Oh yeah, hang on, I think I saw that where in the files. Agent dossier, my profile. Yeah, let's find out about myself. Heritage with honors. Graduated top of class, special forces. Transferred to the Temporal Security Annex. Leave Paragon Medal, promoted captain of the Temporal Protectorate. Chose to form and head up Deep Time Unit. Oh, I'm the one responsible for it. Cool. Interests: classic science fiction, history, abstract art, and Journeyman collectibles. Yeah, that explains the figurine on the desk, on the coffee table, I guess. Okay. Yeah, is this... Do I not have a roof? I mean, what's up with this open sky? Or maybe it's just really transparent. Yeah. Go up here. Okay, nothing up here. Not sure what the point of that area. I believe this. Ooh. Okay. Weird door, but. Round room with a bunch of seats. Oh, what's this? Ooh. Remote control. No. This is a remote control for the high-res Enviro Omni system. The remote allows access to over 1,000 terrestrial channels and hundreds of symbiotry satellite stations. However, the batteries are dead. Oh, that's just on my TV remote. Okay. Enviro, all start. Oh, cool. We get to sit in this environment and have a whole area projected on the walls to make it look like we're there. Yeah, the first game also had like a 4D environment projector. And turned the entire living room into a space, virtual space. Okay. What about all set? Get to watch TV. INN, Interactive News Network. Agent 5 breaks house arrest.
INN will return after a word from our sponsor. The soon-to-be-released Gino, A Fond Remembrance, is Volume 4 of G-Tex Rock Through the Ages collection. Never before has there been a video collection that captures the many moods of Gino Andrews. You'll hear the melancholy Gino.
So many songs about the rain.
So centuries later, we still have infomercials. Or CD commercials, I guess.
Yeah, it's the carefree Gino.
It's been my dream to be a traveler of sorts, to visit all kinds.
And of course, the lovesick Gino.
A song for her is all she wants from me.
All of his chart-topping videos are here, brought back from the archives of the past and completely remastered in stunning 4D sound. In fact, Gino, A Fond Remembrance is the most complete collection of Gino's hits ever compiled on one EC. Call our toll-free ShopNet line now and receive a free sample from the upcoming EC that's bound to be an instant classic. Gino, A Fond Remembrance.
ShopNet order code. Okay. Was hoping to watch some news about my own house arrest.
The ongoing saga of Gage Blackwood took a frightening twist this morning when the agent of the Deep Time Unit broke house arrest to jump 9 years back in time. Fortunately, the illicit time jump was detected and he was immediately apprehended by Agent 8 of the Temporal Protectorate. Although it's still not clear how and why Blackwood obtained the TSA jumpsuit, Temporal Security Agency officials did say that no distortion ripples have yet been detected, and that there is no reason whatsoever to believe that Blackwood has altered history in any way. Our Lisa Long has a report from TSA Administrative Headquarters.
As long as I go back in time to my own, I go back to my own time and fix and not die in the future or in the past, then yeah, no temporal anomaly should be generated.
In a strange turn of events that can only be described as unimaginable, the highly decorated Gage Blackwood, better known as Agent 5 of the Deep Time Unit, has been arrested and put on trial for the crime of historical sabotage. We apologize for the lack of trial footage, but because of the sensitive nature of the material being presented, no recording equipment has been allowed into the tribunal wing of the United Ministry Complex, where the trial is being held. The drama unfolded 3 weeks ago when Agent 2 of the Temporal Protectorate discovered 4 distortion ripples while conducting an unscheduled historical scan. As it turned out, the dates of the ripples exactly coincided with times to which Agent 5 had been sent for research purposes. The agent immediately contacted his supervisors, and on their orders, 3 agents were sent to apprehend Agent 5, who offered no resistance. Later that day, more evidence was found in Blackwood's locker, suggesting that he had disobeyed Temporal Security Agency directives for personal gain. Unless deemed absolutely necessary, the TSA will not send agents to investigate or restore the distortions, as any further tampering with history may cause adverse effects, possibly even turning the ripples into full reality distortion waves.
We have ripples and reality distortion waves, so I guess depending on how big the change in the past was. There's that whole butterfly effect to keep in mind. But yeah, I guess this is why they think I was the one. Those four options in the time jump menu. Something happened there, and like I said, like they said, coincided with my own mission. So they thought I was the one who did it. And I have to try and go back there and prove that it wasn't me.
Prosecuting attorney Phil Stevens alleges that Agent 5 intentionally altered the past in 4 of the 10 time zones to which he had been sent for research purposes, his only apparent motive being personal gain. In so doing, Agent 5 would have knowingly violated Temporal Security Agency ethics, as well as the law. As temporal sabotage in any form is considered the worst possible crime against humanity, Stevens is aiming for the maximum allowable sentence.
Yikes. Come on, I was just going back to grab some souvenirs.
The burden of proof lies on the prosecution. They have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Gage Blackwood was responsible for the distortion ripples. There is strong evidence working against Blackwood, including both computer records that place him at the altered historical locations and contraband that was discovered in his locker. But the evidence alone is not enough to ensure a conviction. With this in mind, prosecuting attorney Stevens has directed his questioning toward eliminating other possible explanations for the ripples.
Yeah, so I gotta try and prove that someone else put those elements in my locker, I guess.
Witnesses for the prosecution have included Agent 2 of the Temporal Protectorate, the TSA's chief technician, and the designer of the circuitry for the jumpsuit.
Whoa. Got my eye on you. Yeah, if Bot was framed, it might have been someone else in the PSA that did it. They have their own jumpsuits. They could just as easily go to the same time period I was. Who did it? The investigation began when Agent 2 of the Temporal Protectorate ran an unscheduled manual historical scan, procedure normally performed twice a year to reveal any anomalies missed by the scanner's faster but less sensitive automatic scan mode. Agent 2 discovered a temporal ripple that originated in the year 1050 AD, indicating that someone had gone back to that time and affected a historically important object or event. He soon found 3 more ripples in the years 1204 and 2247 and 1488. Fortunately, none of the changes were serious enough to cause a full reality distortion wave. The agents then realized that the ripples exactly coincided with several of Agent 5's research mission dates. Agent 2 reported that he had found and successfully sent after Blackwood. Along with Agents 3 and 7, they located the suspect in Tahiti. Yeah, I was on vacation, like she said, I would be in Tahiti, where he was spending his day off, and apprehended him without incident. Following TSA protocol, they then brought Agent 5 to the United Mystery Complex, where he was arraigned and later released to house arrest. Chief computer technician testified based on his knowledge of the chronolog scanner array. Technician testified that the chronolog scanners were designed to detect any illicit time jumps and are monitored at all times by members of the Temporal Protectorate. So if someone else used the suit, it would be in the chronolog scanners. To his knowledge, at no point during the period in question were scanners ever offline or performing improperly. At no point was an unchecked time jump detected, a fact corroborated by the security logs. So they argue that I was the only one in those time periods, so no one else was there, so no other time traveler anyway. Miss Marjane Chow was called to testify based upon her knowledge of the time displacement unit, or jumpsuit, for which she designed the circuitry. When asked whether it was possible for someone else to have used Agent 5's jumpsuits, Miss Chow said that security precautions mandated that only one person be able to use each suit. Yeah, tied to my DNA. She went on to explain that each jumpsuit is coded specifically to the DNA of the agent who uses it and will automatically self-destruct if tampered with. Okay. In addition to the computer records which document Agent 5's research activity, the video log reports made by him during his research mission jumps definitely place him at each of the altered historical locations. The files were not made available to press. Wait, so if I have video logs, wouldn't they prove that I'm innocent as well? That I didn't do anything? No. Physical evidence. An inspection of Agent 5's locker revealed one valuable but not historically significant object from each of the 4 altered time zones that he was sent to. The 4 items included a gold ornament from Chichen Itza, a jeweled orb from Chateau Guillard, a sketch from Leonardo da Vinci's studios, and a signed document from Kenneth Farnstein's lab. Okay. What if I go back in time and took those items and put them back in the original time period? Wouldn't that kind of undo the finding of the evidence and undo my own arrest or something? No, maybe if I undid my own arrest, I would also create a paradox, because then I would not be coming back in time to recruit my past self. So I have to let myself get arrested, but then try and prove my own innocence later. Okay.
In the absence of an alibi or any evidence proving Agent 5's innocence, defense attorney Sandra Gallagher will be setting out to show, through the testimony of character witnesses, that it is not likely Mr. Blackwood committed the crime. If the defense can elicit some doubt of Blackwood's guilt, he will go free. Witnesses for the defense will include Agent 3 of the Deep Time Unit, Agent 8 of the Temporal Protectorate, the Commissioner of the Temporal Security Agency, and Agent 5 himself. The defense has not yet had the opportunity to present its case. However, we have contacted both the Chief Technician and Commissioner of the TSA to ask them their feelings on the arrest of Gage Blackwood. Neither Agent 3 of the Temporal Security Agency nor Mr. Blackwood could be reached for comment.
With us now is William Doughton, the TSA Chief Technician. He joins us live from the Temporal Security Agency Administrative Headquarters.
He's the one who helped me.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Doughton.
Thank you, Mark.
You've known Gage Blackwood for many years, and I understand that the two of you are good friends. Do you think he's guilty?
Absolutely not. The thought that he could be guilty never even crossed my mind. I mean, friend or no, here you've got someone who's dedicated his whole life to protecting history and now stands accused of violating it. That's ridiculous. And if you don't believe me, look at his record. The man's a decorated hero. You can't overlook that fact just because it doesn't fit neatly into the story the prosecution's trying to sell.
Isn't it true you testified that no one else made a time jump to any of the altered historical locations?
No, actually I testified the scanners didn't register anyone making a time jump to those locations. But computers are only as intelligent as their human programmers. Now, I believe it's possible that someone could have shadowed Agent 5's jumps. If a second time traveler were to make a jump within a few seconds of the first into the same location, the chronolog scanners probably wouldn't recognize it as a second jump.
Have you been able to test this theory?
No, not yet. It's too dangerous. If two people were to travel through the same null time tunnel and land in the exact same place, well, their matter would mix, and that would kill them.
Yikes.
And you believe that someone found a way around this?
It's possible, yes.
Okay, well, thank you for your insights, Mr. Doughton.
Well, that kind of puts into question that document detailing the feeling that he had while time traveling, that he saw a ghost image of his own suit like a few seconds afterwards. Might have been someone else traveling to the same place, slightly off phase. Okay.
I have with me now Commissioner Jack Baldwin of the Temporal Security Agency, who's coming to us live from TSA Administrative Headquarters. Commissioner, thank you for joining us. Now, the first and most obvious question is, are you confident in your arrest of Gage Blackwood as the perpetrator of this crime?
We had to arrest Agent 5 because of the evidence, not because we think he did it. There was an obvious transgression. Someone was responsible for it, so we arrested the person to whom the evidence pointed. Now it's up to the courts to determine whether or not he's guilty.
So you believe he's innocent?
Absolutely. I've known Gage ever since he joined at the TSA. In fact, I'm the one who recruited him.
Yeah, he was my boss in the first game.
He's a member of an endangered species. Gage Blackwood is a hero. He has put his life on the line many times to prevent this exact thing from happening. There's absolutely no way he would have abused his position at the risk of a single life, let alone history as we know it. Now,
yeah,
it just doesn't make sense.
Mr. Blackwood has been an agent for quite a while now, 13 years, I believe. Is it possible that the temptation just became too great for him to bear?
No. Gage is as committed to his duty now as he was back when he apprehended Elliot Sinclair. He was, and he is, our finest agent.
Okay, let's assume for a minute that he did do it. Knowing that he would be facing life imprisonment on Vega Thalon, do you feel that he would plead guilty?
First of all, it's a moot point because he didn't do it. But presuming he did, knowing Gage, I'd say he had a damn good reason. And he would have confessed immediately. He wouldn't have pretended innocence, not for 1 minute. Bottom line, Gage Blackwood is no criminal. Gage Blackwood is a hero.
Okay, Commissioner, it looks like we're out of time. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm currently watching television in my home 10 years in the future and watching my own arrest. I was sent, my future self went back in time to recruit me to try and prove my own innocence in my arrest, I guess. Editorial.
If Blackwood is indeed guilty, he has altered more than just the past. The future, too, will likely feel the results of his actions. The Deep Time Unit will probably be discontinued before ever realizing its full potential. But there is an even greater issue at stake. That is whether the Temporal Security Agency itself is more of a risk than a safety measure. Many feel that it should be shut down and everything related to time travel destroyed. Others argue that the technology has already been invented, so there's nothing stopping it from being reinvented for the wrong reasons. So in their opinion, the Temporal Security Agency must remain operational to safeguard against future acts of historical sabotage.
Okay. Auction raises 138.5 billion. Okay, symbiotic technology discussions.
INN will return after a word from our sponsor. La peinture fraîche.
Still gotta watch commercials in the future.
Jote Latvande. Sasta Gort.
If you hadn't understood those important messages, you would have just
wet bin.
Screwed up your best suit.
Huh?
Flippity Van Van.
Driven off of a cliff.
Cheap meat.
Been poisoned.
Restaurant smoking in the lobby.
And peed your pants on a foreign planet. Yes, for all those reasons and more, there's the Omniglot DM dual mode translator biochip from Samco. Just pop the Omniglot DM into any standard biotech interface and voila! No more frustration, no more confusion. The Omniglot DM instantly translates the written and spoken forms of any known language. It does it all. The Omniglot DM translator biochip from Samco. Get it today.
Samco
prove useful.
Available at Frugal's and other fine stores for a low price of $199.90 or order over ShopNet. Product order code 689-22378. 689-22378. Order now.
Yeah, I have been trying to think of ways to use channel points to either have me do something or have something happen, but yeah, I have to take into account exactly what you mentioned. Someone who already has a bunch, okay, what if they tried using that a bunch of times? What would I have to try and think of the economy, I guess, of channel points.
The heads of ministry will continue to meet with Symbiotry representatives today in the Assembly Hall of the United Ministry Complex. These talks were requested by several member races as a forum in which to discuss the place of time travel technology in the symbiotry of peaceful beings. Today marks the beginning of the third week of negotiations, yet there is still no end in sight. Sarah Michaels is standing by at the United Ministry Complex with a report.
Thank you, Mark. The main factor protracting the discussions is the inability of the symbiotry to decide what should be done with the technology. The representatives have formed three distinct factions whose strongly opposing views have caused them to remain tenaciously entrenched in a deadlock. While one group believes we are committing the unforgivable act of hoarding a vital technology, a second supports the symbiotry tenet that each race has sovereignty over its own technologies. The third contingent, which has grown in strength since the arrest of Agent 5, contends that time travel represents a threat to every race of the symbiotry and should be destroyed altogether. Even though most attending races strongly disagree with humanity's sole ownership of the technology, our heads of ministry refuse to acknowledge their arguments, citing its inevitable misuse as their foremost concern. Therefore, barring symbiotry action, it is unlikely that the status of time travel as a proprietary technology of Earth will change.
Yeah, didn't realize the other political implications of being the sole owner of time travel technology. Whoa. Bunch of stuff here.
The opinion originally held by the majority of races represented at the talks is that time travel technology is an invaluable tool for self-discovery and, as such, should not be denied to any race. However, the Loxoni abandoned this position last week in favor of destroying the technology. Presumably, this sudden change of opinion was due in large part to the arrest of Agent 5, an unfortunate illustration of the danger of time travel.
So you have someone that would gain from my arrest. Maybe someone wants time travel technology to be destroyed and thought, oh, if I got framed for a crime, that would only show the dangers of time travel.
The Dorlun and Zhang Trakar, on the other hand, have continued to cling tightly to their convictions. They're of the opinion that this technology is far too important to be buried because of paranoia. Time travel, the Zhang Trakar argue, is like any other powerful tool. It represents a danger only if the user doesn't have the insight to take the proper precautions. And if care is taken, there should be no reason whatsoever to fear what should be the greatest advance the symbiotry has ever known.
Every race would have their own temporal protector units for their own planets.
Perhaps Brandon Farling, the Dorlun emissary, stated the feelings of these two races most eloquently. At long last, he said, we can all be in touch with our pasts. Each race can now know the truths of its history. No longer must time be wasted with painstaking research and endless conjecture, only to arrive at an uncertain understanding of the events that shaped history. The answers, all the answers, lie within our reach if only we have the will to grasp for them.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know for sure exactly what happened in the past.
Despite being recently abandoned by the Kryn, two of humanity's staunchest supporters, the Sorolans and the Tsar, have continued to defend our right to autonomy over time travel technology. Like those that favor dismantling it, these two races would rather leave their past buried than risk losing it altogether. But unlike the others, the Sorolans and Tsar believe that humanity harbors a maturity beyond its years and can be entrusted with preserving the sanctity of history.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but okay.
In fact, they suggest that our closeness to our violent past makes us even better suited to manage time travel, as the dire consequences of the misuse of technology still stain our racial memory. Unfortunately, theirs is a minority opinion. The prevailing response to this argument is that Earth's record with time travel speaks for itself. In just 10 years, there have already been incidents of deliberate historical sabotage, the latest of which allegedly involving an agent of the Temporal Security Agency.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Our benefactors, however, dismiss the Elliott Sinclair and Gage Blackwood incidents as aberrant acts by disturbed individuals, rather than a weakness of humanity as a whole. And they ask, as a sign of good faith and trust in the newest member of the symbiotree, that the future of time travel technology be left to our discretion.
Yeah, you can trust us. We won't cause any universe-ending paradoxes. Right?
The third viewpoint, which was originally held only by the Unwa, is that the existence of time travel technology represents a threat to the history of every race in the symbiotree. For this reason, these races feel that all existing time machines should be completely dismantled. Following the arrest of Agent 5, the Loxoni changed their allegiance from petitioning for the release of time travel technology to requesting its destruction.
Got my eye on you guys. Unwa.
They were
The
joined
prime
by
suspects.
the Kryn, for whom this represents a break in their long-standing tradition of fervently supporting every race's right to sovereignty over its own technologies. The Loxoni now proclaim that if not destroyed, the technology must at the very least be put in the safekeeping of an elder race of the symbiotree. They cite security as their main concern. Like the others that share their goal, they feel that humanity lacks the necessary discretion to control such a powerful tool. As a side note, it should be mentioned that the Loxoni themselves are among the eldest races of the symbiotree.
Well, they just want it for themselves, eh? Results of negotiation.
Despite the arguments made by the symbiotree envoys, the general opinion of the heads of ministry so far appears unswayed. Michael Rozhenko of the Northwest Asia Collective rebutted that the danger of time travel falling into the wrong hands and being used to change history, however slight, is still too great to even consider releasing the technology.
So I guess the argument is that there should be at least one person, but the fewer people who have the technology, the better. But there should be at least one who has the technology to make sure it is not misused.
It must be realized that time travel has not only the power to unlock the secrets of history, but also unparalleled potential for destruction. Few could argue that it would be foolish to give such a tool to anyone, regardless of its intended use. On the other hand, it's also too late for it to be destroyed, as was pointed out by Chancellor of Law Rick Allen, when he stated that the technology has already been created and can therefore be recreated. Chancellor Allen emphasized his point by attesting that if all known time travel technology were destroyed and a new time machine built without government knowledge or approval, there would be no way to intervene in the actions of the illicit time traveler. He would have free rein to rewrite history to his liking. Unfortunately, such scenarios are all too likely, as was proven by the Elliot Sinclair incident and the current trial of Gage Blackwood.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened in the last game. If we didn't have the Temporal Security Agency, history would have been rewritten. Okay. Well, this Louvre auction.
INN will return after a word from our sponsor.
Okay, more commercials. The heck? Commercials are even weirder in the future.
Cheese girl!
Pressurized cheese food spread. Cheese girl. What?
In a last-ditch effort to stay afloat, the Louvre Art Museum held an auction of unprecedented scale yesterday. The museum was forced to sell off many of its older collections to pay off creditors and to raise funds desperately needed for renovations to the facility. In a fervent display of support, the art community rallied around the historic landmark, showing that the museum itself is every bit as valuable an artifact as any of the works of art it contains. The auction was an astounding success, raising 138.5 billion credits, easily surpassing the 100 billion credit goal. This windfall was due in large part to one generous bidder who preferred to remain unidentified. Martin Walker is standing by with a live report from the Louvre.
Thanks, Mark. I'm standing inside the historic Louvre Museum in Paris. Behind me sits one of the few pieces to survive yesterday's extensive art auction. Items up for auction included artifacts and works of art from many of the Louvre's oldest collections, including the Da Vinci exhibit, the ancient Egyptian, and Toltec Mayan exhibits. 4 particular items were snapped up by a generous bidder who paid much more than the asking price. The bidder's identity is unknown, but it is assumed to be an art enthusiast who didn't want to see the Louvre shut down. There are rumors, however, that the buyer may actually have been acting on behalf of another race in the symbiotry, which, according to the Earth History Preservation Act of 2322, would be illegal. We're told an investigation may follow. Museum sources that I spoke to speculated that the revenue from the auction will be enough to keep the Louvre in operation for at least the next 5 years. However, they warned me that the price of admission may go up in order to help cover operating costs. A small price to pay for such a wealth of human history and culture.
But what if someone bought items from this auction and then planted them in my locker? They just happen to be the same items from the same locations of period that I was into, so they wouldn't even have to go to the same locations that I did.
The Louvre's financial difficulties arose from a combination of rising maintenance costs, overspending, and lower than normal attendance. Several costly acquisitions in recent years sunk the museum into spiraling debt. When repairs to the facilities became unavoidable and visitor attendance fell, it became clear that a major influx of cash was needed to cure the museum's ills. In June, the decision was made to auction off several of its older exhibits. That decision paid off well yesterday.
Yeah, this anonymous donor, I have my eye on them as well. They're also very suspect.
The 4 items that the unidentified bidder purchased included the Toltec Mayan ceremonial coffer, King Richard the Lionheart's sword from the Crusades, Leonardo da Vinci's Codex Atlanticus, and an interactive sculpture entitled Self-Awareness, credited to Kenneth Farnstein. Attendees of the auction said the buyer did not try to purchase any other items, but immediately made an excessive bid on these 4 artifacts as soon as the bidding opened.
Okay, so they're not the same objects that were found in my locker. I think one of them was a coin, the other was a jeweled orb, and the other was a signed a sketch, and the other was a signed document. So, okay, maybe I'm on the wrong track here.
Experts estimate that the unidentified man paid at least 7 billion credits more than the true value of the pieces, but none could say why he was so interested in 4 such disparate artifacts. They eventually conceded that it may have simply been their rich histories that intrigued him.
Still very suspect. Oh, maybe, hang on. The Mayan coffer might have contained the gold coin. The sword might contain the jeweled orb. Or maybe he took pieces of these items, put them in my locker. This unusual jade and gold coffer is thought to have played a role in Maya religious ceremonies. It was discovered in 2027 in an archaeological dig within a previous undiscovered cavern below the pyramid known as High Priest's grave in Chichen Itza. Exactly. The most distinctive feature of the coffer are its cylindrical shape and intricate locking mechanism. Oh, I smell a puzzle. Which makes it the most important find ever to have come out of Chichen Itza. Complex mechanics of the device, which is similar in construction to a Chinese puzzle box, prove that the Maya were much more capable builders than previously believed. For many years, the coffer was thought to be cursed, as its first 4 owners perished under mysterious circumstances. It is now known that the lock mechanism contains poison needles that jab anyone who attempts to open it without having entered the proper combination. Oh no. Yet, despite the fact that the coffer is now being better understood, old beliefs and superstitions have dissuaded any further attempts at opening it. Unfortunately, radiography has yielded few clues about the contents of this unique coffer, which currently resides in the Louvre Museum of Art and History. Okay, what about the sword? Richard I's sword. Beautiful sword remains one of the finest relics of the medieval period. Its masterfully engraved forged steel blade is embellished with intricate ornamental designs from the very tip down to its elegant, simplistic hilt, which is punctuated with a 4-carat diamond. Thought to have been lost forever after taken by Philip Augustus in the siege of Chateau Guillard in 1204, this masterpiece was unearthed almost a millennium later during excavations of a condemned French chateau. The sword had apparently been in the collection of a wealthy baron who hid his valuables in an underground bunker during World War II. They remained there for almost 3/4 of a century until rediscovered in the year 2015. There's Atlanticus. Atlantis, Leonardo da Vinci's Codex on Flight. It contains his collected observations on the flight of birds, as well as the designs for flying machines and other thoughts on how flight can be achieved by humans. Codex Atlanticus, like all Da Vinci's other codices, is written in Latin mirror writing, giving us a glimpse of his secretive nature. It is not known whether any of the flying machines designed by Da Vinci were ever built. If so, they were certainly not capable of flight. However, as his designs and concepts could be seen in working flying machines centuries later, there's no denying that Da Vinci must be credited as the father of the flying machine. Their interactive sculpture entitled Self-Awareness is one of the series recovered from the derelict space station Amarax in AD 2282 that were later credited to the artist and biotechnology Kenneth Fahrenstein. These sculptures have long been the subject of much speculation and controversy, as they followed a series of paintings, undoubtedly by the same author, which Fahrenstein himself credited to an artificial personality which he had created. Though his claims were never substantiated, there is enough evidence to have captured the world's imaginations, and to this day people speculate as to whether Fahrenstein had succeeded in what no one to this day has achieved, the creation of true artificial life. Regardless of their origin, the sculpture gained immediate recognition as masterpieces. Testimony to this was ably provided by New York Chronicle art critic Karen Pollack in the following review expert from the May 12, 2286 edition of the paper. Humanity's long history of artistic endeavors has periodically allowed us mere mortals an occasional glimpse into the clarity of vision that is the domain of genius. The Van Goghs, the Mozarts, Duchatuses of this world have opened doors inside us with their work, for a moment bringing into sharp detail the foggy, fuzzy thing at the peripheral edge of our own introspection. With an astounding series of multidimensional emotive constructions, the anonymous, I will never be convinced of the popular accrediting of Fahrenstein, author of the Self-Here Life sculptures, placed herself among the ranks of history's great cartographers of the soul. But yeah, would be quite a breakthrough if an artificial intelligence actually created a work of art. It's well, like one of the things that people say that only humans can do, is be creative. The pieces, which in the neutral form of luminous spheres are impressive enough for their unfathomable technology, have a physical presence that it's impossible to convey in words, as indeed they have evaded the most accomplished documentarians' attempt to capture them on web. The experience of reaching out to self-awareness, the visceral response as it disrobes and unfolds into a chronologue of unfiltered emotion, is one that must be felt in situ. One has the sense, as will all great art, that it is responding to you personally. What truly sets the Self-Here Life works apart However, beyond the controversy of their discovery and their novelty of their media is the sense of unself-consciousness, as if the artist were simply purging herself of emotion, unfiltered by intellect, free of the pretensions of interpretation or analysis. One is left to wonder if the artist is not a child, unrestrained by the burden of understanding, but driven by the need to make tangible the elusive currents of life, as if to capture them in the frame of a canvas, or the patterns of a projection were to somehow bind them, like the power of naming in arcane magic. But then, is that not what art has always been about? Okay. So these 4 items were purchased by some anonymous bidder from the Louvre Museum.
The 4 items that the unidentified bidder purchased.
We already saw that. Okay, go back. Okay, the last item before we continue our exploration.
The events surrounding the arrest of Agent 5 bring back, for most, memories of the Elliot Sinclair incident. That historic day 10 years ago could have turned out much differently if it weren't for Agent 5 of the Temporal Protectorate. After building the first ever functional time machine, only to have the government shelve the project because it was considered too dangerous, Sinclair decided to sidestep the politicians and build his own temporal transporter. Years later, when the Sirolans made contact with Earth to offer us a place in the symbiotry of peaceful beings, the xenophobic scientist suddenly found himself with a new purpose. Fearing an alien invasion, he tried to convince the public that the Sirolans were not what they appeared to be. But this endeavor met with little success. Frustrated, exasperated, and on the verge of insanity, Sinclair formulated a plan to make Earth a more difficult target for the Sirolans. On the day of the Sirolan ambassador's arrival, he sent each of his 3 robot minions back in time to change the course of history.
A recap of the first game.
He sent to create a nuclear scare that would prevent world unification and prolong the Cold War. The second was to destroy the Morimoto Mars colony and make it look like the work of an alien race. And the third,
images from the first game, not from the remake.
The individual who was most influential in convincing humanity of the benefits of joining the symbiotry. His backup plan, should his robots have failed, was to assassinate the Sirolan delegate. It was our good fortune that Agent 5 was on duty at the Temporal Security Annex that day. He detected the temporal distortions, stopped each of the androids, and then apprehended Sinclair himself. That fateful morning made a hero of Agent 5 and spawned the blockbuster holoflick, The Journeyman Project. Elliot Sinclair was put on trial and found guilty of all charges. He was sentenced to life imprisonment on Vega Thalon and hasn't been heard from since.
They made a movie about it? Oh hey Megabyte, thanks for subscribing. Oi oi. Yeah, that little bit of the original Journeyman Project game kind of showed that I guess there was another way to deal with the robot in the nuclear base. I could have used the mechanical arm to grab it instead of using pressure to make it implode. Ooh. But yeah, we can go back to our little. How do I get out of here? Go back to exploring this area. I don't think there's anything else to watch there. But yeah, I have a pretty good understanding of what's going on here at least. Now I just gotta go to the different time periods and look for evidence of my innocence. And look at that. I got figurines on my shelf here. Kind of weird to have a figure of the same robot that tried to kill me. And yeah, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised if they made a movie based on what all my adventures. They would have released figurines based on the robots that I defeated. Yeah, that's the one that went to Mars. I think they were each named after a god. Like this one was named Poseidon, this one was named Hades, and the other was named Mercury. This. Yeah, this is the one that could turn into a human form to assassinate the professor. Hey, that's me. I got my own figure. Cool.
Since you're getting this message, I'm assuming everything went well.
Oh.
Now, before you do anything, you need to understand that the role of the TSA has changed in recent years. In addition to the security unit, there's now another team whose job it is to research history. That's the team I was on. That is until someone altered history at 4 of my research mission locations.
Deep time unit.
They weren't major changes, just enough to create temporal ripples. When another agent discovered the temporal ripples about a week ago, I was suspended and put on house arrest. Then they discovered some evidence, and by the next day I was already on trial. I had just about given up hope last night when it hit me. I'm being watched, but you can still prove that we're innocent. So I've decided to break house arrest and jump back in time to get your help. Right now I'm probably in jail. If they know where I am, they won't be looking for me. You'll be free to jump to any of my research mission locations to see what's going on. Now pay attention. This is important.
Okay.
Go to each of the 4 time zones and gather as many clues as you can find. Try and discover what's been changed and how.
Okay.
I've programmed the jumpsuit to auto-record any evidence you might find. Oh, and one more thing. I don't know if this has anything to do with what's going on, but I was at the TSA a couple weeks ago doing an unscheduled check of the security grid. I noticed something was wrong. It seems a couple of the feedback jumpers had gotten crossed. A good portion of the security grid was compromised for I don't know how long. Anyone with the right information could have gotten into or out of the TSA, the Pegasus warehouse, or any of the restricted areas without even being seen. I'm still not sure why I'm being set up, but I think this might have something to do with it. Be careful.
Okay.
Our life is on the line.
I guess you can count on me. I'll try my best. My future self. Anything else? Yeah, I don't think that. I think we have fully explored the house. I think this is a replicator or a kitchen. Can I go behind the counter? Okay. Ooh. Wait, what? Some futuristic mug with anti-spill technology? I was like, oops, sorry, future self. But I guess no big deal. Is this power? Yeah, universal domestic replicator. And you can auto chef, shopnet, postbox. Ooh. Breakfast menu, lunch menu, dinner menu, and snack menu. I could use a snack. Unable to process your request. You have already replicated the allotted meals for the current time and date. Thank you for using Auto Chef. Ah, come on. My own replicator won't let me overeat. Yeah, any option will give the same answer. Okay. Okay, what about ShopNet? Ooh. Product order code. Can I order that translator biochip that I saw on TV? I wonder. Can I order that CD that I saw in the commercial? I'll check. I guess I'll have to write those down later. Current parcels, none. Yeah, I mean, if there is a post box, there might be able to shop for stuff, and then they'll show up here. Yeah, let me try that. Go back to the TV. Now that I saw a place to input order codes. Let's see. Anything over here? Oh, what is this? What is this? Just cupboard? Oh, I think this is an oven. Says the caution hot. Okay. Oh. Oven mitts. Got a nice view of the apartment, of the house. Keep in mind that I have to be facing forward in order to walk forward. I can't go forward. Except here, for some reason, I can. I guess because it's a lower environment, I can only move forward once I look down. Gotta go around. And then look down again. Yeah, just like the first game, I have to keep in mind where I am. Text file here. Write down codes. I can skip videos, right?
The events.
Yeah.
INN will return after a word from our sponsor.
Do I want to buy this? Okay, I gotta watch the entire commercial before I see any product code. So gross. You're not making your product very appealing.
Cheese girl.
Order code 62594-978. Cheese girl. 594-978. Okay.
In a last-ditch effort.
What about this one?
Will return after a word from our sponsor.
The soon-to-be-released Geno, A Fond Remembrance, is Volume 4 of G-Tech's Rock Through the Ages collection. Never before has there been
I can't
a
figure out how,
that captures the many moods of
when or
Geno
how
and
will I ever need these
You'll
items,
hear
but
the melancholy.
yeah, it's an adventure game. You don't question why you can pick up something. Sometimes you pick up the weirdest objects and then only later find out that they were useful.
Yes, the carefree Geno.
It's been my dream to be a traveler of sorts, to visit all kinds.
And of course, the lovesick Geno.
A song for her is all she wants from me.
All of his chart-topping videos are here, brought back from the archives of the past and completely remastered in stunning 4D sound. In fact, Geno, A Fond Remembrance is the most complete collection of Geno's hits ever compiled on one EC. Call our toll-free ShopNet line now and receive a free sample from the upcoming EC that's bound to be an instant classic.
538-257.
Fond Remembrance.
Geno, A Fond Remembrance. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering why the TV kind of stopped, and I have to click on it to go to the next part, the news.
Saga.
And the other sponsor?
La peinture fraîche.
Fresh paint.
Jate Latvande.
Alien language.
Sasta Gorsht.
Alien language.
If you hadn't understood those important messages, you would have just
Wet paint.
screwed up your best suit,
Oh wait, not alien language, no. Arabic?
driven off of a cliff,
Cheap meat.
been poisoned,
Not sure. That is alien language.
and peed your pants on a foreign planet. Yes, for all those reasons and more, there's the Omniglot DM dual mode translator biochip from Samco. Just pop the Omniglot DM into any standard biotech interface and voila! No more frustration, no more confusion. The Omniglot DM instantly translates the written and spoken forms of any known language. It does it all. The Omniglot DM translator biochip from Samco. Get it today.
Yeah, the third one I think. I remember seeing. Not sure where it was from, but I don't think the third one was alien either. The last one was definitely alien, but yeah. French, Arabic, and yeah, I can't seem to place that third one. But yeah, the last one definitely alien. Okay, order 6, 8, 9, 22, 378. Omniglot DM. Translator biochip. Okay.
The head.
And here there was no sponsor here, right?
The events.
Yeah. Only these three options gave a message sponsor later.
The events surrounding.
Okay. Let's see if I can buy these three items and hope they will be useful at some point. Otherwise, I would have spent my future self's money, which is my money, on pointless item. Wait, no. Go all the way there. Okay. Yeah, navigation in these games can sometimes be a little tricky. Okay, inside here. Okay. Okay, ShopNet. Enter product order code. Let's see. Wait, can I just type? No. Yeah, typing. Yeah, I can. Okay. Try typing with the numeric keypad. That just moved me around. 4 978. Okay. Your order has been processed. Purchase price has been deducted from your account. Product has been sent to your postbox. Thanks for using ShopNet. Okay. Replicate. But yeah, that's how shopping works in the future. You buy the thing and then the thing gets replicated. Okay. I have Cheese Girl now. Not sure why, but hopefully we'll find out. Shop some more. 5, 3, 8, 4, 8, 2, 5, 7. Right, it's free. Oh. Cool. Gino Andrews single. Okay, last one. The biochips. 6, 8, 9, 2, 2, 3, 7, 8. Wait, I didn't check the price. Oh dear. Okay. I can actually. I wanted a button to go forward. If I use the numeric keypad, I can actually press this 5 key to go forward and the 2, 4, 6, 8 keys to move around, to look around, up and down. Okay. But yeah, I don't have to keep clicking here. I can just use the numeric keypad to move around. Cool. But yeah, I think now we're done with this house. So first, let's save. Wait, no. Files, interface. Oh wait, I have to click here first, and then click here. Okay. Save. Save a new file. Keep saving on a new file all the time. There you go. Yeah, I guess now we can go through our first time period. Jump menu. Chichen Itza. Please read the mission briefing for Chichen Itza before initiating jump sequence. Sometime around 1000 AD, the ancient Mayan civilization of the Yucatan Peninsula began to die out for reasons yet unknown. Also around this time, the Mayan capital of Chichen Itza played host to newcomers in the forms of the Toltecs, a culture closely related to the Aztecs. No one knows for sure whether the Toltecs invaded the Mayans at Chichen Itza, or if migrating survivors of their own dying culture were simply allowed to settle there. Your mission is to observe the resident culture and gather information that will lead to a definitive answer to this question. Warning, there will be a human presence in the environment. Gather footage from a safe distance and avoid being seen. Your destination coordinates have been scanned and cleared. Okay, so once I arrive, I should be no people there, but if I walk around, there's a chance that I might encounter someone. Okay, let's go. We get a flyby before arriving. Hey. Okay. Look for anything out of place, I guess. What is this? Ah. That looks like a puzzle, but... Oh. Okay. Match. Yeah, these are numbers, I believe. We got numbers to images. Anything else in here? No. Okay. Okay, can I go down from here? Hang on, let me check. Let me get the cloak biochip ready just in case I see someone. Warning, human presence detected 500 meters ahead. Oh dear. Yeah, where's my blue-faced AI companion? I kind of miss her. I think that means I shouldn't go down there. Yeah. What about over here? Also, human presence detected ahead. So, okay, anywhere I go, there's a chance I might get found out. So let me just save. No, not files. Interface. Head. See what happens. Okay, instantly detected. Reality distortion wave detected. Blatantly disregarding warnings that he was approaching a primitive people, Agent 5 proceeded into a populated area of Chichen Itza. Upon seeing such a strange being, the natives immediately dropped to their knees in homage to the god that came from the pyramid. Agent 5 decided to stay a while. And they erected a statue of my suit. Oh dear. Yeah. Bad idea. I can't even leave this pyramid, I think. Yes. Oh, these looks like the numbers that were up there. No. Try and look around everywhere I can. Yeah, since I can look up and down, I gotta make sure I don't miss anything in either direction. Yeah, these looks like the symbols that were in the inside, but no numbers associated with them. You kind of barely make them out either. Not sure what's going on here. But yeah, looks like human presence detected ahead. Looks like either way I can't go in any direction. A small area. Yeah. Kind of hoping to walk around some more. Maybe, yeah, maybe I'll eventually be able to go inside the pyramid. But yeah, first I need to find the code. Maybe do something with this statue as well. Oh, what about up here? This one has 3 lines. Wait, do these have? Yeah, these have numbers next to them, don't they? Kind of small, kind of small to see, but yeah, this little kind of look like a face. Has 2 bars and a dot. These are 1 bar, 2 dots. It's a 1 bar, 2 dots. How many symbols are there, I wonder? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there are 20 symbols. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 20 symbols and 13 numbers. This has 27 symbols. Yeah, this one does This one does look like they show numbers next to the symbols. Yeah. Yeah. The X with number 1. Oh, I gotta get a little closer to the screen here to see. Okay, maybe the others are. No. Yeah, I don't see numbers next to these symbols. This one definitely has numbers next to them. Only the bottom line here. Okay, so hang on. This is 8, and this symbol. This is 12, and this symbol. 1 X. 4, kind of a star. This 11 in this face. I don't remember seeing this face. 7 and this symbol I remember seeing. But yeah, these are have the same numbers but different symbols. And this is 3, and this is 9. This one looks like the same symbol as this one, kinda. Okay, what happens if... Let's see what happens if I do one of them at least. 1 and X. Let's try 1 and this X, and 7 and this symbol. Okay. Okay, what do... 1X. Maybe I have to do it in order. That is 8 and... check this. Oh, I think this might be the face thing. Oh no, this is the face thing. Okay. Kind of hard to see. This might be. No. Is it this one? Yeah, I wish there was an indication if I got the thing right or not. But yeah, that's number 8, and kind of hard to make out, but which symbol that is. I mean, I do have a translator biochip. I wonder if they work on these symbols. Try. Activate. Oh, here you go. Goddess of birth, 8 water. God of rain, 12 lightning. Goddess of purification, 1 flint. Goddess of maize, 4 rabbits. God of wealth, 11 jaguar. 7 mountain, 7 obsidian, 3 tree, 9 dog. Wait. 7 mountain. Yeah, these are 2 7s. 3 tree, 9 dog. Okay, what about here? Oh, the holy vessel contains the breath of Itzamna. To touch the holy vessel is to become a vessel of the word of Itzamna. Homage must be paid to the 4 lords of the night before the layman is allowed to touch the holy vessel of ordainment. The Chakmul grants entrance to the underworld only on sacred days. Okay. God of War. This is Kratos' symbol. Must be taken for Lords of the Night. 4 Lords of the Night. How many goddesses and gods are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, The 6 gods and 1, 2, 3 goddesses. Ah. Check outside. I think there was some stuff out there though. Here you go. Libations must be made to the lords of the night to gain passage into the realm of the underworld. Yeah, okay, same thing. Supplicant must prove his worth by passing the trials of the underworld. Oh dear. Only after passing the trials may a supplicant gain counsel with the gods to pay homage. Okay. Okay, what about this symbol? Okay. 8 obsidian. Okay, at least I don't have to read the symbol to know what they're saying. 8 grass, 8 wind. Okay. Not sure what this means. 4 lords of the night before the layman is allowed to touch the holy level. Or maybe this is for later. Okay. 8 water. I guess we'll try this first. 8. Jaguar, moon, water. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a way to enter this number. Oh, what is this? Oh, wait. Is this the holy vessel? So it's become vessel of the holy. Yeah. Ceramic bowl. There's a blue substance inside the bowl painted. Boldly painted ceramic tripod bowl. Homage must be paid before. Can I put this bowl on top of this guy? Of the statue? Whoa! Uh-oh. Huh. Ooh, that's a bad sign. Wait, what's this? Copper medallion. This Mayan medallion was likely worn during the religious ceremonies made of pure copper. Okay. Kind of worried about what might be down here with me. Okay. Like I said, I gotta look around and up and down in all directions to make sure I'm not missing anything. In these games, you really gotta keep your eyes peeled. Okay. What is that? Ooh. Ooh. And make this jump. Oh. Okay. Oh, I hope I remember what was said on those those signs there. Okay, I might need something square to fit here. Probably opens its door. Oh. Realm of the Rain God. Make an offering to pass. Yeah, I don't really have an offering. At least nothing that's square that would fit there. Okay. can skip this. But no. I would have to press Control forward to skip transitions. Okay, there's another door over there. Same thing, I guess. What is this? Ooh. Only those who have conquered their demons are welcomed in the presence of the god of war. Oh dear. Make an offering to pass. I mean, I can always leave with the jumpsuit, but I don't want to check what's over here first. I'm guessing if I leave, I'll have to grab the bowl and go back down here anyway. So yeah, I can always go back and check those numbers later. Okay. Oh, wait, what's this? Someone else didn't survive the fall? Do we have anything? Oh! Skull from cavern. This is a skull from a skeleton found in the natural subterranean caverns below Chichen Itza. Okay. Wasn't expecting to grab this, just grab the skull like that. Okay, so there are 2 doors where I need to make an offering. Not sure what those offerings are, but might just be something I get in from another time period. Because yeah, in this game you go from time period to time period and you grab items from one and use in another. So I might be. This might be everything I can do right now on this time period. But yeah, glad I thought of using the translator to figure out. Oh wait, can I go forward? Yeah, I didn't go forward. Yeah, there should be 4 doors here, right? The text on the tops mentioned the 4 lords of the night. Temporal anachronism is detected within immediate vicinity. Use evidence chip to locate. Wait, evidence chip. Wait, hang on, let me check something. Deadland. Complete the pyramid to pass. Ooh. I mean, this pyramid? I mean, it's an inverted pyramid, but... Okay. Locate. Manual temporal anachronism scan mode activated. Ooh, I have to check myself where the anachronism might be. On the door, maybe? Can I click anywhere? Okay, right there. No evidence collected. Use location. Okay, hang on. Oh wait, I need to activate the translation. Final trial is the first sacrifice. Oh. Yeah, not seeing what could be out of the ordinary. Can I use a skull here? I wonder. Yeah, in the first game they showed where you could use an object, by the object would change, but it didn't happen when I used the bowl on the statue. So yeah, I guess I'll have to just grab an object and release it to figure out. Okay, anything weird on this symbol, I wonder. There might be something behind this door, actually, now that I think about it. So, yeah. It says within immediate vicinity, but it doesn't mean it could be right in front of me. It could be behind the door, and I might need to open the other doors in order to open this one. So yeah, this locating the evidence might be something I do like at the very end of this mission, after I've completed the rest of the puzzle. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that for later. What about this? Those who will represent the god of wealth must turn their backs to worldly possessions and lower their heads in humility. Okay, as in, look down? Or is this a clue to something to do after I've already entered? Because, yeah, make an offering to pass. Yeah, I'm guessing all of them, I need an object just to get in. But then once I get in, I have to do this to survive, I guess. Or some trap, I wonder. Is this like the Indiana Jones trap in the Last Crusade? You have to lower your head in humility, otherwise you'll get your head chopped off. I wonder. Oh yeah, okay. Well, there are 4 doors here. Each one I have to use an object to enter. And then I probably have to do something or get something to open the final door. And then the final door, I'll find the evidence I need. But okay, I think we're done. We're done exploring for now. Let's jump to another time period. Chateau Gaillard. Throughout his reign as King of England, Richard I battled with Philip Augustus to maintain Angevin rule over territories in northern France. To oversee and defend many of these territories, Richard the Lionheart quickly erected Chateau Gaillard in the Leandelis mountain of Normandy. For years, Philip sought to restore the state of his empire. After Richard's death, he got his chance. Having been financially crippled by Richard's exploits, England could do little to hold him off. Territory after territory was retaken by Philip. Though it was thought to be impregnable, Chateau Gaillard capitulated to the French on the 6th of March, 1204, after a brief 6-month siege. A failed relief effort by King John is thought to have played a role. A failed relief effort by King John is thought to have played a role in the fall of the castle. However, exactly why it succumbed so quickly is still a matter of some controversy. You are to travel to Chateau Gaillard to witness the final day of the siege and to document how Philip's troops gained entry into the castle. Warning, there will be a human presence in this environment. Gather footage from a safe distance and avoid being seen. Your destination coordinates have been scanned and cleared. Okay. Let's go. Oh yeah. This guy turns and sees and gets shot with an arrow. Yeah. Just like the report said. I guess if I arrived at the same time, I'll witness the same event. Okay. Yeah, he mentioned that I arrived too late to watch the siege happen and could only see the grappling hook that they used. Well, let me check here first. Maybe I can use this grappling hook to get down. Maybe go down to that. Oh, can go down here maybe. Hang on. Let me save first. Game says to save often. That's what I'll do. Another exit. Anything over here? How do you stop me? Here. Okay. Keep going down. Uh-oh. Yeah, I guess if I go down any further, I'll meet someone. Oh wait, what's this? Ooh. Oh, wait, there was a door here. Oh. Okay, yeah, I'm not... Well, might as well see, just see what happens. Since I saved... Oh, here too. Oh! Wait, can I cloak? Can I cloak? Quick! Ah, not quick enough.
You shall not flee now.
Agent 5's death registered at 10:05 a.m. Agent 5's presence in the perimeter stairwell of Chateau Gillard was detected by Castle Guard. The sentry who mistook Agent 5 for a French knight pummeled him until death. Next of kin has been notified. Okay, hang on. Oh, so I can go here too. Okay, that's why I stopped on the stairs. I can go here. Okay. Door locked. Unlocked. That sound. Anything here? The barrels are blocking my way. Yeah, I'm gonna want to check out something here. Let me check. Yeah, what is that sound? Hang on. Wait for the grenade to complete on time. You crash the game or trigger bug. Spam button. You walk. Yeah, I'm checking out this. There's a bug that might affect the game. That's in the castle. When you walk along the wall, be slow and wait for 5 to 10 seconds as you walk. There is a spot where you have to turn left on the wall. If you wait for it, the wall will be blown up. If it doesn't happen, you walk forward and you die. If the walk won't blow up before you walk forward, you trigger the bug and the game will be impossible to complete. Okay, yeah, I gotta keep an eye out for that. Left on the wall. If you wait for it, the wall will be blown up. If it doesn't happen, you walk forward, you die. Okay, at least if I walk forward and die, that means whatever happened triggered. That was the location where the bug got triggered. Yeah, does that sound like... Is that the catapults being fired? is this, an outhouse? A latrine? Looks like a bench with a hole in the middle. So. Yeah, I'm trying not to spam the controls going forward. Waiting a little bit. Oh, there you go. Aha. Okay, so this, ooh, people there. Well, this would be a place where a game might have gotten corrupted or something. Yeah, at least I know where it is now. I mean, I haven't saved yet because I kind of want to later go back. Uh-oh. Cloak. I want to go back to the tower, to the top of the tower, and explore some more a little bit, but... Temporal anachronism detected within immediate vicinity. Is it over there? I mean, I doubt it would be that easy, but... I'm kind of hoping that the icon might change if I hover over the right place, but... maybe not. Would it be on this tower? I mean, it says the immediate vicinity. It doesn't mean directly in front of me. It might not mean directly in front of me. Oh. Hang on. Evidence registered. Never mind. That's a footprint. 3353. Cool. On my first piece of evidence, and yeah, I'm guessing there are probably multiple pieces of evidence in each time period, because yeah, this was a little too easy to find. Or maybe it wasn't easy, and I just stumbled into the right location. Because yeah, I don't think I can go back to the tower from here, right? Yeah, I'm still not saving. Oh, wait. Okay, they're a little too busy fighting to notice me. But still, let's keep the cloak button turned on. Can I go inside here? This. It's like something to sharpen a sword, or... Activate cloak. Activate cloak. Yo. Okay, I think we're fine. Yeah, this I'm probably going to use this at some point to change one of my objects. Maybe not an actual weapon, but something else. Oh, so this is a blacksmith's shop, maybe. Yeah, there's water, there's a forge. Might be able to melt something here. Maybe this thing made of copper? Okay, well. Now what? I melted the thing, but now I don't know what to do with it. Oh, what the? Wait. Oh, maybe it's not. That's not a key. That's a key imprint. And I use the melted copper to make my own key. Huh. Copper key. Oh, cool. That was lucky. I just happened to move the mouse in that direction. Okay, I kind of want to save now. Been making a lot of progress in this location. I can just re-jump to this location and go back up to the tower. I think I avoided the game-breaking bug anyway, so... Yeah, well, I'm probably going to have to come back here later with something to use on that area, but yeah, for now let me go back to the top of the tower. I'm gonna jump back here. We get to watch the guy die from an arrow to the back again. I mean, I guess if I hadn't arrived, he would have still died, but the arrow would have pierced his front instead of his back, so there was no way to save him anyway. Okay, yeah, let me save here again. Oh yeah, there's a shortcut to saving, right? Control S, I forgot. You don't have to keep pressing the interface biochip all the time. Control S, there you go. Okay, wait. Hang on, let me check. Can I go? I don't think you can go over here, right? There was another area where it looked like I could. No. Yeah, I thought I could go this way, but I guess not. Okay. So this first, the wall was on this first door, I believe. Right? Yeah, this is where we went to go up to the walls. And then, hang on, let me get my cloaking device ready, because there was the guard in the other door. Wait, what? There's only one door here. Oh, and it's locked. Okay. Human presence detected. Yeah. Probably this guy then. Activate cloak. Okay, is he gonna leave? Or maybe I can do something with him. No, it doesn't seem like I can. Doesn't seem like I can use any items while I'm cloaked. Huh. Can I use this door? Nope. Okay. Okay, can I leave quickly before he notices me? Okay. Huh. Okay, yeah, I thought... Whoops. Wait, no, you didn't see me. Thought maybe having the ability to cloak there would make him leave and I would be able to go through the door he was standing in front of, but... Oh. Oh, back up here. Just finish exploring the outer walls there, just to be sure. There's nothing I missed before going to another direction. Okay, so this way is blocked by barrels. And this way... Oh. Yeah, this is the way that the wall will get blasted. Then I'll go down. Okay, maybe I haven't missed anything in this area so far. Okay, let's go to another location. Da Vinci Studio. Historical records allow us to trace the entire life of Leonardo da Vinci, with the exception of the years between 1482 and 1489. 1482 and 1489. All that is known about this period of his life is that he was working as the military architect and engineer of Duke Ludovico Sforza of Milan. As this was during the war against the Venetian Republic, it is assumed he built many new types of military devices, but few plans for such have ever been recovered. You are to travel to this secret workshop to document these unknown projects. As you will be arriving in the middle of the night, the studio will be vacant. Your destination coordinates have been scanned and cleared. Wait a second. Hang on. I did get a key in that house. I did not try to get that key, to use that key in any of the locked doors before. So, before I do anything, let me just try. What was that beep just now? Let me just try and use the key on one of these doors. Yeah, the key is from this time period, so it's very likely that it will be used here, right? Unless someone else made it. Can't see a lock. Okay, might as well. Give it a shot. No? Okay, only one door here, right? Huh. Okay. So the key is not for this, for the castle? Maybe there's another area down there with, there was a locked door that I missed down there. Oops. Just give another look around this roof, tower roof, make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope. Nope. Okay. Yeah, wait, first, yeah. Yeah, let me try and go back down the wall again. And I think I can at least skip to the area with the wall. Right? Press control. If I hold control and press forward, I should skip the transition animations. This. Then I turn. Then I wait. All gets blown up. Yeah, so I can't go any further. And there are guards anyway. I can't go down here. Then go down here. So this door is unlocked. So where else can I go that could be locked? Or was that key hidden by another time traveler, and this key goes to another time period, I wonder. Or maybe it's not for a door, maybe there's a locked chest somewhere that I missed. Making sure, looking around. Yeah, I ran right past this area. There's no doors here. It's just a wall. It kind of looks like a distant wall, but it's actually a very close by wall. Okay. Yeah, it can't go in. Oh, wait, I can go here. Ah, cool. Video of underwater. Aha. Okay, there is more to explore. Oh, see, I almost missed. Oh, this goes back. Anything over here? I mean, this was a secret key. Maybe there's a secret keyhole somewhere. Okay. Huh. Okay, look, I can't go anywhere here. I can only go back to where I was before. Maybe. Oh, maybe if I have a grappling hook, I can go up this window. Oh, did I miss a grappling hook at somewhere? That guy's up there. Okay. I have to come back later to that area, because yeah, now I know that I can go there. Maybe I can climb into that window, into the castle. I don't think I have anything that can be used on that. Is that a lather or what? No, that's... Not sure what that's called. That's mill, that wheel, grind wheel? I think grinding wheel, yeah. I think that's a grinding wheel, and I don't think I have anything that can be used there. Yeah, I kind of want to check... the walls again, see if there are any grappling hooks that I missed. And jump again. Go back up. Then after that we'll go to the... After I do this final scan, I'll go to the DaVinci Studio. I mean, not in any of these towers. Any of these. Yeah, maybe that guard was there just to kill me if I got too careless. I don't know. Okay, let me check this side, just to be thorough. Oh, aha. Grappling hook found. Does it come with a rope, I wonder, or do I have to get my own rope and attached to it? You can... And turn. Wait a little while. Okay. I can use this grappling hook on that window. If I can climb up that wall. Okay, nice that I'm doing quite a bit of progress. I haven't gotten like stuck yet. Although I've also haven't finished exploring everywhere I can go. But yeah, I'm doing this game's easier. Oh, easier than I thought. Oh, the icon, it does change when it's on. When there's a... when I can use it. Huh. Okay, nice.
Hello! Oh. Joseph! Shaka, fool! 'Tis all for naught! It shall not claim this tour!
Okay. Let's see. What do I do here? Wait, what? Fetch a lavage? This is a Monty Python reference? Having taken too long to begin his ascent of the keep, Agent 5 found himself an unwilling participant in a reenactment of a silly Monty Python skit. Silly and fatal. The next of kin. The heck? Okay, can I reload and go quickly, I wonder? Come on, quick. Oof. I mean, I'm not doing anything, but... Wait, do I need to go forward? Keep going forward, okay.
Quick! He's in the king's chamber!
Okay, hang on. Save here.
Quick! He's in the king's chamber!
Quick, cloak.
Alas! He escaped us. He must not wretched the goddess.
No one here. Phew. That was close. Now I can look around. Ooh. Hello. What do we have here? A locked chest. This key was created from mold found in the smith's. Oh, wait, what? What happened here? There's... Try again. Wait. Okay. Where's the lock? Come on. I got a key. I got a locked chest. Just put 2 and 2 together. What about here? Oh. Huh? Is the key the wrong shape, I wonder? Wait, do I have to use the grind wheel to grind off the piece of the key to fit here? Kind of looks like. Yeah, there's only one, and then there's look. Kind of looks like the key has a little bit too much on the tip. Oh dear. Is that why I couldn't unlock the chest? Okay. Anything else important here, I wonder? I'll likely get caught if I go over here, right? Oh wait, is this? Am I back at the tower? No. Is this another tower? Ooh. Whole new area to explore. Cool. Okay, Norman. Continuing my time travel adventures. Journeyman Project 2. Ooh. And yeah, I already got squashed by a cow. A clear reference to Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yeah, I'm in medieval times. And just like the first game, I have to try and avoid getting seen or caught by people from this time period. I have not yet played Duke Nukem Time to Kill yet. Ooh, hang on. I do have a translating biochip. Can I read this? There we go. The war is not going well. Philip's troops have taken Gournay and Conches and have set up camp on the Bernieres Peninsula? With such victories under his belt, it shall not be long before he gathers the confidence to attack. I was awakened this balmy August morning by the sound of clashing armor and men screaming. The inevitable has come to pass. Philip Augustus' troops have attacked the garrisons along the Seine. He has already gained much ground, so sudden and fierce was the assault. Wait. As our what? Yeah, I did not own a PS1 at the time, so I never played that. My PS1 games were very limited. I knew someone who did own a PS1 and played some games on their console, but yeah, not a lot. I mean, I now own a PS2, so I could get PS1 games and play them now. A heroic show of force was mounted by the king's force this morning. 300 knights, 3,000 horsemen, and 4,000 foot soldiers under the Earl of Pembroke converged on the entrenched Normans, who defended their position tenaciously. At one point, the siegers appeared ready to flee under... I can scroll down. Dang it. Under the drive of the assaulting force, but alas, it was not enough. Philip's men held their ground, and Pembroke's men were forced to retreat. If 7,000 soldiers can't force the Normans from the trenches, the best we can hope to do is hold them at bay. Now, let me go back. Private journal of Roger de Lacy. Long before he gathers the confidence to attack Chateau Gillard. To be honest, King John is, I fear, that he shall not be able to halt Philip's advancement. It saddens me to see territory won by the Lionheart in fierce, bloody battle, lost so quickly at the hands of a weaker man. As our defenses were weakened in the onslaught, it is likely that the island fort shall fall before relief arrives. If so, Philip will lay in for the siege. Fortunately, our supplies are ample, and we can hold out for many months without relief if necessary. I sent a letter to King John to inform him of the situation. At one point, the siegers appeared ready to flee. The drive of the assaulting force. Okay, yeah, we read that already. One of my advisors just told me that he has discovered the perpetrator behind several robberies in the castle. He said that his investigation required him to speak with the blacksmith, who was not himself available. Yeah, I visited the blacksmith shop and found a secret key mold where I made a key out of melted copper. But the smith's apprentice was available. The apprentice let on that when the smith is hired to make a lock and key, he often keeps the mold used to cast the key. I already found it. It was then that my advisor realized he had stumbled upon the perpetrator. He immediately searched the premises, whereupon he discovered the ill-gotten goods and several key molds. I am distressed that in this time, when our very survival depends upon the cooperative efforts of every member of the group, this greedy opportunist is thinking only of himself. It pains me not to be able to make an example of him, but it would only worsen the already waning morale and leave us in the middle of a siege without a blacksmith. Instead, I have chosen to give the smith a stern warning for now. His real punishment shall have to wait. The castle food supplies are getting desperately low. All our hopes lie in a relief effort devised by King John. While troops led by William Marshall occupy the siegers from the landward side, supplies are to be snuck up the castle from the sea. If the plan doesn't work, our supplies shall be gone within 2 weeks, and the castle shall fall soon after. The outer bailey already has been severely weakened. It has become increasingly difficult to find the time to write in my journal. In fact, I am only writing now because this may be the last chance I get to do so. Despite a valiant effort, King John's relief effort failed. And right on the heels of this tragedy comes another. The Outer Bailey has fallen. There seems to be little we can do to stop Philip's forces. The few men that are still alive are already starving, and yet we now have to cut back rationing to 1 cup of grain per man on every 3rd day. Whoa. If we don't get a relief soon, the castle is doomed. I have taken the precaution of sequestering everything of value in the hidden storage room, as King John requested in his letter to me, and destroying the key. Oh. The letter itself also had to be destroyed, as it contained information on the whereabouts of the hidden storage room. Darn. Okay. How do I... How do I leave it? How do I get out of the book? I want to stop reading. Oh. They don't know how that happened, but... What about this? Okay, another journal. Oh, wait. Translate. Wait, no. Activate. I arrived today at the glorious Chateau Gillard, the care of which has been entrusted, entrusted me by my lord King Richard while he is away on the Crusades. Nor shall I consider this no small honor, as my lord regards this saucy castle as his daughter and only child. Although admittedly I don't know whether to call myself constable or nanny. This magnificent castle sits highly atop a ridge of the Les Andelys Mountains, looking down defensively over Normandy's sea, river valley. Here it stands before God and all, a constant taunting reminder to Philip Coeur de Lion, Heart of Lionheart. And though the castle's hastily built walls are made of butter, I do not believe that Philip will strike at the taunt. He knows better than to try and take the King Richard's most cherished possession. Nevertheless, I shall carry out my duty, and with all due ceremony. Didn't last too long. I learned today of the passing of a great warrior. The Lionheart beats no more. Long live the king. He shall be greatly missed. However, being so sudden and unforeseen, King Richard's death has left England without a king and Chateau Gillard in a precarious position. Should Philip Augustus learn of the King Richard's demise, and I don't doubt he shall, he won't waste time in attempting to retake those lands lost to my lord, beginning with the Saucy Castle. To tell the truth, he has been waiting some time for this opportunity, until a new king is chosen, whether it be Richard's brother John or his young nephew Arthur? King Arthur? I can only act according to my best judgment. Now, as always, preparedness is a soldier's best defense. Thus, I have fortified the scene and built a palisade around the island fort. I have even had a lock made for the entrance to the hidden storage chamber, the key for which I hid in a secret compartment of the armorer in the king's bedchamber. Okay, so I have a key, but that might not be the key to the secret chamber. That might be the key to the secret compartment where the key to the secret chamber is. Oh dear. The armor in the king's bedchamber. Okay. I don't know whether the hidden storage chamber is, but I believe I might have found the secret compartment in the king's bedchamber. Sadly, our situation at Chateau Gillard has not improved since King John assumed the throne. The terms of the Treaty of Le Gaulet are an insult to the English people and to the memory of King Richard the Lionheart. In addition to 20,000 marks relief, our noble king also has returned the Vexin to Philip Augustus. It makes no sense. If relief was paid Philip because the Normans held the advantage is only that much greater now. How could he who once fought at his brother's side give back so easily the spoils of their efforts? Spoils for which English blood was spilled. It is not my position to question the king's actions, but anger consumes me. John has indeed earned the nickname Softwood. Softword. And yet, miraculously, Chateau Gillard remains under Angevin rule. Perhaps John could not bear the thought of giving away King Richard's only progeny. However, with Richard gone and 20,000 marks of English currency remains under Angevin English currency and 20,000 marks of English currency to finance his troops, Philip shall surely try to change that. God knows he has never been one to honor a treaty. It took longer than I thought, but Philip's obsession has finally become more than he can bear. The traitors' feigned support of the Louisians has given him the excuse he was looking for to declare war upon the royal house of England, and so he has begun his quest to restore the Norman Empire to his name. Oh, here. You have to click on the middle to go back. So. Anything else over here? I can go here. A little hard to navigate sometimes. We're gonna have to check every direction. Wait, can I go down out this window? Ah.
I must be insane. Oh, you have no weapon. Too bad.
Ooh. Ouch. I did not... I opened the door a little too early. Despite warnings, Agent 5 ventured into an occupied area of the Chateau Gillard where he encountered a battle-hardened soldier trained to kill first and ask questions later. The soldier performed his duty admirably. Okay. Well, at least all I did was read. I didn't actually get anything. Oh, wait. Oh. Activate cloak. Forgot I saved before they appeared.
Alas, he escaped us. He must not wretched the goddess.
Okay. Well, yeah, this must be the armory. And this, I guess, this key. Oh, wait, is this a... Wait, no, wait. Is this might be the secret compartment that held the key to the secret compartment. That just means it looks the same. Okay, yeah, I thought I needed to like fit the key in here, but this might be the actual secret compartment on the armory where the key was located. So now I just need to find this secret compartment, and it's not the chest, I guess. The secret. I need to find this secret storage room. Might just be in another room of the castle. Try going up this time. Okay, so this is not the same tower I was before, clearly. Once. Okay, this goes to the other room, where I was just there. About down here. Any warnings? Any persons waiting for me? I gotta be careful. Hey, wait, what? Yeah, that was another time traveler. Caught red-handed. What are we doing here? Oh. Okay, this might be what I use a lot for. Aha. There's nothing inside. Am I too late? Huh. Yeah, let me check what evidence it was registered. Presence of a second time traveler inconsistent with TSA chronological scanner reports. Yeah. This kind of proves that the reports that the chronolog scanner reports that said no other time traveler was present, it's clearly false. And yeah, like I said, there were multiple evidences in each time period. Hang on, I wonder. Castle Studio. So there are four time periods and 6 evidence we must find. Or is this... Are these 6 evidence in this period, or are the 6 evidence the total amount? Because then, if that's so, then there are 2 here, but then maybe only 1 in the other ones? Like 1 and 2 on the other? Yeah. I'll have to go back if once I'll have to review the evidence bio chip once I reach another time period and see if these 2 are still present. Okay, you know, what's the point of that key then if there was nothing inside? I mean, I could get inside, maybe I could hide in if that was the case, but... Yeah, what was the point of having this copper key? Or maybe I have to put something back? Something that was taken? Yeah, I can go inside, but then nothing. Well, at least I know where the key goes, and yeah, I don't have to grind a part of it. Kind of looked like it was that a little different. Wait, is this the hidden storage chamber? I thought a storage chamber would be a secret location, not like a room, not just a chest hidden somewhere. Huh. Maybe I'll find something later. Let me go back here. See if I can cloak fast enough to avoid that guard killing me. And also see if there's anything else to pick up here. Oops. No. Yeah. Can I translate this? No. Yeah, this might be this tower. So this is the king's chamber, this is the king's study, this is the cellar. And yeah, there might be something under the cellar. According to this diagram, anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna go back down later just to check. Okay, that's the door. Let's check everywhere else here. Okay, yeah, you're not giving me any warnings. Let me cloak just in case, and also save. Activate. Come on, quick.
Must be wood. Alas, he had no weapon. Pity.
Yeah, the warning was a little too late there. I only saw a warning that there was someone nearby after I opened the door. Yeah. Okay, let me try. Oh wait, let me check this window. Nothing here. Whoa, quick. Okay. I'm gonna stand there. Okay. Okay, not much I can do there. Let me go back to the cellar to see if I can find any hidden passages. We can check over here first. Some pixel hunting. I read on what's on the books now. Okay. Okay, it doesn't seem like there's anything over here. I guess that guard over there was just a trap to kill off any players too eager to open doors. You again. Yeah, I reloaded, didn't I? Oh, evidence previously registered. Is it just going to be there every time I open the door? Huh. Yeah, there's something down under this cellar, but can I not? Does that chest hide a secret passage? Okay, I can't look down over here. Oh, down here. So if that chest hides an... Huh. I mean, there could be a false bottom to this chest, but why can't I examine it, or use an item on it? Or is this the wrong key? Do I actually maybe I do have to grind the key to open both the top and bottom of the chest, I wonder. Yeah, I kinda want to check. Hang on. Let me first see if I can go back down the grappling hook, or if I actually need to do the time jump thing. Go back to the blacksmith. I think I went too far. Yeah. Weird transitions. Can I? Which way did I come again? Yeah, it was this way, right? My grappling hook is not here anymore. Okay. I guess I do have to do a jump. Recall. Oh, recall brings me back to the present. Right. Jump back here. We kind of learned a little bit about the history of this location anyway, at least how the castle fell. There was a traitor among them. Maybe they provided the key to the front gate or something. Okay. Let's go back to the blacksmith. Wait, hold control to skip the transitions a little faster. Wait, wrong one. Too far down. Okay, here you go. Wait. Okay, hang on. Just check this one little thing. Can I grind the key on the grind wheel? it's not. Yeah, why is this grind heal here? Is this just it's just to show a little animation? Doesn't seem like I can use anything on it. Yeah, as soon as I click on it, it just displays this animation, and then I go back and so. Yeah, maybe it's not for using anything. Not sure why I need this remote control with no batteries, but cheese girl. Where am I going to use these items? Yeah, I guess that's it for now. Over here anyway. I can actually move on to the next location, but yeah, we already explored 2 locations, so I might leave, go to this Da Vinci studio, but yeah, leave this for next time. Leave both of these other locations for next time, because yeah, I think I progressed quite a bit in the Chichen Itza. I've at least got out of that starting point in the pyramid and found the 4 doors that I have to use objects on. And Chateau Guillard, I think I've made a lot of progress, but there's still one thing missing, I think. And yeah, next time we'll be jumping to Da Vinci Studio at 1488 and the Farsting Lab at I think a space station in 2247. I can jump. Save the game right over here. Okay. Looks like a good place to stop. Yeah. There you go. Did a lot of progress. Glad I was able to avoid the bug. I think the second bug that could break the game is right near the end, so I don't think I'll have to worry about that for a while. But yeah, glad I caught someone wrote that a review that detailed these bugs, and I was able to avoid them. Don't need the product codes anymore. Okay, yeah. End the game. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, interface takes some getting used to, but once I learn to remember to look around at all the different nodes at the different possible locations, to not just for objects but for also other passages, then yeah, it gets a little easier. And so far the puzzles haven't been too hard, as long as I do enough pixel hunting to find any hidden objects. I mean, like I found the key mold in the blacksmith shop before I read that it might be there from the journal. And yeah, we also did a lot of reading at the beginning, but I kind of got a good understanding of the story and what I need to do. But yeah, hang on, I forgot to check something. Where are the evidence review? Yeah, so these evidences are not just about the location I was in. These are the total evidences that I need to find. So I already found 2 out of 6, and I think one I know where one is in that door behind the door in the pyramid. So yeah, doing quite a bit of progress, I think. There was always that chance that I might get stuck in these games and not progress for a while, but so far that hasn't happened. And I'm happy with the level of difficulty in this series so far. So I'm eager to continue. So yeah, next Tuesday I'll be coming back to this game. Next Thursday I'll be coming back to the first-person shooter Blood, continuing that. that game, episode 4, I think. And next Sunday I'll continue with Warcraft 2 on the Orc campaign. So yeah, if you like these kinds of retro games, make sure to follow the channel. I'm always playing them. And yeah, if you missed my playthrough of the first game in this trilogy, the Journeyman Project Pegasus Prime, you can check my archives on Twitch and on YouTube. Yeah. Hope you guys had fun. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!